2, 3. Pauline's early.
Oh, I'm on time.
Pauline's early.
Good morning. I thought I'm going to be on time today. No interruptions.
Hang on, I can't hear you.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Carry on talking. Now, whoop, nearly. You're muted.
I want your.
There you go.
You're right now?
Yeah, that's a song, wasn't it?
Yeah.
All right now. Oh, ooh, hang on.
Right. While I've got you to myself, a question. I bought some of that brown sticky tape to put on my pictures, but it's difficult getting it off. How do you get your pictures off? Do you cut them out or?
Yeah, just use a straight edge.
Okay.
I got quite a long ruler, a cutting ruler.
Right.
I just use that.
Right. What? And you leave the tape on the board?
Yeah, just peel it off afterwards.
Right. Okay.
Sometimes I'll put it in the bath and soak it for a day or two,
right.
and then it sort of flops off.
Yeah.
But to be quite frank with you, I've probably got boards with sort of 1/4 inch layer of rubbish tape around the edge.
Yeah. So obviously when you go to stick your next bit on, it's
Yeah, I just, as it's dry, you can usually I'll do one in a minute. I'll show you.
Morning, Dave. Morning, whoever's there.
Morning, everybody.
Carol.
Morning.
Can't see you, but
oh, can you not? Oh,
no.
what have I done? Oh,
no.
Oh,
there you go.
There we are. Ah, the harem.
Back to our normal harem. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. The girls are in charge again.
Yeah. We're outnumbered.
Are we all? Is it only us today then?
Oh, don't know.
Anne and Gordon are still away. They won't be back until this afternoon. I don't envy them. They're right in their caravan.
Awful, wasn't it?
They're in Devon, coming back today.
Right.
Hiding under a tree, I should think.
Yeah.
They said they had quite a sheltered spot, but it was still a bit hairy.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Well, they will go away, won't they?
They couldn't wait.
No.
Everybody all right? Everybody?
Yeah.
Fine.
Good.
I was a bit worried because I planted all my babies and I was thinking now. Then I looked at the weather and went, what? 67, 70 mile an hour.
Yeah.
Babies, they're all going to get blown away. They get sucked out the soil and blown all over the shop.
Oh, no.
I had a quick look earlier and they seemed all right.
Oh, what, you planted them out in the garden? They're not in a greenhouse or anything?
Yeah. So I've just spilled all my coffee.
No.
It's right. It's on a little mat, so it's not too bad.
You mucky pup.
Glad I'm here.
Yeah, we're glad you're there too. Kind of defeats the object if you're not.
Bit apprehensive about today.
Yes, should be interesting.
Well,
I couldn't do my sea this week. It was too blue. I kept putting white on it. I had all the pencils on it. I kept washing it all off. I just gave up in the end.
Well, it couldn't have been any bluer than mine, be honest. Come on.
Well, mine was turquoise blue.
Mine was very blue.
When I first did it, it was all pale and lovely. And I thought, I'd just put a bit more colour on. I can't seem to go back when it's all dry and do a good job. Why is that? I was just getting a mess with it then.
That's in watercolour, is it?
Yeah.
Don't ask me.
Well, what I did was, if you watched on the video, I used pastels, didn't I?
Yeah, well, I tried that.
Look, I don't know what you're talking about. That looks fine to me.
Yeah.
Oh, it looks much bluer. It looks a lot bluer at home, though.
Yeah, that's good.
I think it looks nice.
I think captured the moment pretty well there, if you ask me.
I don't think I did the island quite as long as some of you, did I? I must have got my squares wrong.
Christine,
it always looks better on your screen than when I'm looking at it. Why is that?
Because you're further away, like I've said before. When you're looking at a distance, it always looks better, doesn't it?
Christine's sea was really blue.
It was really blue.
Oh.
And also my horizon was wonky, so I had to take it up a bit, and then I lost half the rocks.
Oh.
I just reckon I'm just further away, that's all.
Oh,
I think mine was a bit wonky at one stage.
It's all a work in progress, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all a learning curve, isn't it?
Yeah.
Sky looks good on that. It's
Yeah,
captured.
it does.
Yeah.
Because when I first did my sky, I did it all and I thought, I haven't put the white underneath it. So
Tried to get the light coming from the left as well. So that looks all right, that one. Yeah.
Hi, Joy.
I think they were all.
Hi. Morning. Morning.
Most of them look pretty well, pretty good to me.
Oh, that's all right then.
Yeah, Joy, they all got similar drama as well. That was Joyce.
Yeah, that's good. She's got a grey day.
Yes, it was definitely a grey day.
That was Pauline. Hers is smooth, isn't it? I wrote back to her saying that it's got a smooth feel about it. That
like your clouds, that was good.
Yeah, well, when I first did the sky, I thought, oh, that looks good. I'm not going to touch it. And then I thought, well, I'll just dab the tissue. And because then I made that sort of cloud and I thought, oh, I don't know whether that looks right. And I thought, I'm not going to touch it because I think it looks quite good. So I thought, I'm going to.
Yeah, it looks lovely.
Yeah.
Happy accident, isn't it?
So, yeah. But I couldn't get the C right. But
do you do yours all in one go? Or do you go back to it?
No, I did the sky and then I left it to dry.
Oh, yeah, but I meant the rest of it. Oh, sorry, yeah.
There isn't a right, is there? No. It's water. What does water look like? It's either clear or reflecting something, or from below or whatever. So I don't think we can beat ourselves up on these.
Like you say, they're all good.
Yeah. I like them all, yeah.
Very nice.
Oh, that one stands out. And I was going to say that one's flicking through. That one stands out. I suddenly realised it's mine.
It's yours.
I didn't think mine was in that folder, but I quite like that. I'm going to, well, I might just tweak it a few bits on it.
Oh, gosh.
But I noticed that I keep getting emails from various art people saying we got an exhibition, blah blah blah, and I've got this one I've entered in a competition, an exhibition. I'll make a nice frame for that because it's a bit smaller, and also a bloody great wedding one, which is what, 4 foot by 3 foot. I thought this is a double dare, so I'm going to enter that one as well. So
Oh,
this one and the big wedding one that I've got left over, I like painting 2 at a time. It's quite good fun.
Yeah.
It takes when something goes wrong on one, you sort of think, well, I'll do something on the other one, and then when you finish waiting for that one to, and you look at the other one, oh, that's not quite so bad now. If I just do, it balances off each other. It's quite good fun.
mm.
But I've got that one and this one, and I think it's the Muddyford Festival next month. I think it's late. They've got on a wall. Somebody emailed me to put something on the wall. So it's CAD Arts. So I'm a member of that. So it says what sizes are they? Of course, I've got this whopping great picture, sort of 4 foot by 3 foot on the wall. And I thought, well, otherwise it'll all be little piddly
Yeah.
ones. I thought it'd be nice to have an outstanding one, but I don't really want to sell either one of them. But I'm gonna have a go.
Yeah, why
I thought,
not?
well, it's just especially the wedding one. Somebody might, my thoughts. I've got that in 2 exhibitions now. There's another one. I'd have to watch that they don't overlap, clash. There's
Have we seen that finished? I haven't. Have you seen it? Have you showed us?
Don't think so.
No. Let's have a look.
I don't know where it is. I
Oh,
might.
the
It's
other
under,
one's gone, has it? The commission you did. They've got
yeah,
that.
it's always a scary moment.
She was
Carol.
pleased. Yeah, it must be because you think, oh, are they going to like it?
Yeah. I don't think I have got a picture of that one. No, I'm pretty sure I haven't. But they're both much of a muchness or likeness, or what I was going to say. They're, but I think no, this is the one that she's got, but it's very similar to this. Except I can tell which one. The only way I can tell, the sky's slightly. I think it's better on the other one, brighter. Even on this one, I changed it, but the trees, overhanging tree, the branches are thinner on the other one. So that's the only way I could really tell.
Looks nice. Oh.
Well, in life, it's bloody great thing, So you get more of the feel of the expansiveness of it all. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that one. Well, I thought, well, if I put it in the exhibition, which is right next to Christchurch Priory, one of the other places they were asking for people. I thought, well, that'd be good because right next door to the Priory wedding, I call it time out, a reflective moment, or looking ahead. It's that sort of feel to it. I thought somebody might spot it and think, oh, that'd be a good idea. Could we have one like that with the Priory in the background? It's well, the video from last week, the Isle of Wight one, that got a response online. Somebody wants, do you do any free tutorials? I've got to paint a watercolor of Sandown, which is Isle of Wight, and it's Sandown. I wanted for my friend's 50th birthday, and I thought, oh yeah, well, yeah. Well, I said what you could do is I haven't got any free ones, but what you could do is if you send me an image, we could use that on a Tuesday, and that way you'll get a free demonstration in a way, or something like that. I might haggle a price. So you can use this as a guide to do it. But actual fact, looking at the one we did last week and the results we've got now, the Isle of Wight we did there, it'd be good enough. There was enough information in that video to get on board with it.
Yeah.
But we didn't have any beach, did we? So that would probably
we don't like beaches.
Perplex them.
Oh yeah, they're not easy, are they? It looks easy. Yeah, I won't say what I was going to say. Well, that's nice.
That's David's mother-in-law's mother's little pad over in Swanage area, somewhere over
All
there.
right.
That's lovely.
Everyone says that. I'm thinking it's rubbish, and Mel said, "Oh, you're always been good at buildings," and I'm thinking, well, not in this occasion, darling. But oh well. And David said that is super fabulous, and I'm thinking maybe I've lost the plot here, but it's not quite what I had in mind. But it has got a little bit of a charm, I suppose. I think when it's
dear.
framed up, it'll be all right. I'm still going to tweak it a bit. Here she is.
Here she is.
Here she is.
Old Madge. There
Oh,
are two.
dear.
So frustrated because I can't print off an image to grid it.
You don't,
I
well,
know. I'm going to be the same.
Yeah,
Are you?
that's
Well, you could use your phone, because I've sent you one with the grid, two with grids on.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
know, but I never know how big. I know we had this last week. How big to do the grids, but
Well, it relates to your paper.
yeah.
So if you
Yeah.
look, if you say, right, I'm going to concentrate on the Queen's face.
Yeah.
So I've done it deliberately. There are only 9 squares. So whatever you do, whatever size your paper is, just make
Just
sure you've
divide
got 9
Yeah.
exact the same. So
Equal.
it doesn't matter. So if you look at your paper and say, I could have 3-inch squares,
Hmm.
it's the narrow edge that dictates it. So if you say, Dave's done 3 squares there, 3 and a bit. So whatever your depth is, divide that into 3.
Yeah.
So you draw 3 horizontal lines that way. So if it's 3 inches, they'll all be 3, and then 3 inches the other way.
Right. Okay.
One dictates the other. They've got to be square.
Square.
That's the only.
They can't be oblong.
Well, you could if you wanted to do something a little bit more, I don't know, abstract or contemporary. That would work actually. See, or you could do them slightly wonky, but I'm lucky because I've got look, I'm not going to beat around the bush with the old Madge. I'm just going to whiz this off. I watched Rolf Harris video yesterday
Oh, really?
because he painted the Queen.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, he painted the Queen, and they
It's in the bin now.
it was all filmed. No, she never, and that was one of the questions that he asked her actually. All the all the portraits, she has like 3 or 4 done a year, by request and that, and sits for them. How many have you got? Do you keep? And she said, how many have you got? Keep? She said none.
Oh.
No, but it wasn't. She wasn't being curt or rude. She was just saying they're always for someone else.
Oh, I see.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
an artist does them,
Yeah.
but someone else is either commissioning it or paying
Right.
for it. The Queen ain't going to pay. Well, I think I'll donate mine. She can have it. Be on a stamp next.
Yeah. This will be fun to see what we come out with, won't it?
Yeah. If you've got a set square, it's handy because you can put it down the side. What because I stretch the paper, so the paper gives me a straight edge. So what I tend to do is just line the corner, the T of the square like that on the edge of where it meets the brown paper. Then I can draw a line. But equally, you can use a book.
Yeah.
Use a book, triangle, or I mean, you just got to make do. But if you've got any pre-cut paper, just use that. You could, and just a bit of board or something. As long as it's got a nice square edge, because you don't want it you want it very light. I made a few mistakes on that score. Yeah, when I do it, I don't push on the pencil. I just let the pencil just glide like that. I don't even touch it. Even
Right.
then I can see a little line. You don't need much. And to remove it, I don't know if not everybody will have one of these, but I don't know. I got it from the scrawler box people. It's a putty rubber, and it's like
Oh yeah, I've got
really,
those.
yeah. But this is like it really is
Yeah.
putty. But this one is really strange. You only got a sort. If you've got a bit that you don't like, you just sort of press it on it, and it lifts it off.
Yeah.
Good.
But
I
this
think
one's
my putty rubber is every colour under the sun because I used to use it with
yeah.
putty.
They are handy though.
Yeah. Yeah, and you can keep
Get,
squidging it about and cleaning it.
yeah, hang on. I've got to get me knife. I'm going to get a knife out. I've had enough. Cruel world.
You haven't even started yet.
Oh, I know. I'm not digressing. Someone asked me a question earlier. Oh, hang on. I got bits falling over.
So you've decided to do that one.
Yeah, I've gone for the purple. I thought if Christine's looking, when looking at the images that I posted, I bet she's saying, "I know which one he's going to go for." I like fuchsia.
Yeah, it is nice. I like both of them.
But
actually.
equally, yeah,
I love that one. I love the light.
Yeah, I think I might do another one. I'm going to do more than one. And she's got that brooch on. This
same brooch, same pearls.
Yeah, well, this brooch is one that her mum got made for her.
She does wear it an awful lot.
Yeah, it's a rose and like a little yeah, it's on here as well. I think.
Yeah.
I think it means it means a lot to her, that one. Yeah, she was wearing it when Rolf did the picture of her. This is for Carol. Remember you were saying? Because this is a stretched piece of paper, yeah?
Yeah.
All the way around. So all I do is I get the ruler and where it meets the paper.
Yeah. And just go down.
Just go down all around.
Or just take it off.
And then it comes off. And then afterwards, I can lift my finger thumb behind the, under there and just peel it off. This board I've had for 100 years, and it's corrugated on one side. You know the sort of board you get.
And it's hardboard, isn't it?
Yeah, it's hardboard, and on the other side, it's all got these things. And what you find is the tape will stick to it, but it won't stick to it. It'll just about hold for a painting, but when you come to peel it off, it won't adhere because it's all these little things. It doesn't stick very much, so it's quite handy that. So, whereas this stuff, the other side, which is smooth, I know when I peel that, it really does stick on that. But like I said to Carol, sometimes some of the boards I've got, well, the one I'm using here, you can look at. Some of the boards, the paper has been on there for donkey's years. Yeah. It's this piece there. I can put my thumb right under it.
Mine doesn't. Yeah, mine doesn't come off very easy.
No, I had the brilliant idea one day during the summer last year, I think, of soaking it in the bath.
Oh, what, the board?
Yeah.
It will go warped, wouldn't it?
No, I didn't go warped, but
Oh.
No, but I'll tell you what, because I had so much that brown, sorry, I'm taking my jumper off, that brown sticky stuff everywhere it went. blocked up the bloody hole. Took me half an hour. Took me ages. Yeah, it's because it's still got a bit of glue on it, because it sticks all round the bath.
Yeah.
It was like, it was like Eric Sykes with the plank. I felt a bit like Tommy Cooper, like. better. Surprising, it's so windy, and even with double glazings, I could feel draft coming through. But
to go out in all that rain and wind last night and rescue my wheelie bins, because I keep them in the front and I normally drive the car right up to them, sort of wedging them against the border in the car so they don't go anywhere.
yeah,
But I didn't
all
yet.
over, did they?
So yeah, I was out there in my pajamas in the wind and rain at 10 o'clock
Oh, gosh.
looking at rubbish.
Oh, gosh.
I didn't pick mine up because I thought if mine blows over, I can't bend down and pick it up, so I'll be stuffed. So I left it till this morning and just managed
Once
to
they
catch
go,
it.
that's it. Yeah, mine's the only one I've got to worry about is the garden waste one. That invariably gets blown over, and I just leave it. It's all earthy stuff, isn't it? Don't know what
It's
I'm
really
looking for.
spooking the dogs, for it was windy and banging and clattering around, so
Yeah.
I had to go and pick it up. Anyway, digressing, back to
No,
Madge.
that's fine.
Yeah.
As I say, I did use a little grid. 1, 2, 3, 4 ABC. Yeah, so I use this one. Any observations? The hard bits that I think the flowers. I find that I've given up on that. I'm just going to make up
something.
Yeah, I'm going to make it look a bit like flowers. I'll concentrate on this a bit. The background, I'm not going to worry about that so much today. I'm just going to, either way, it's a field of view photograph, isn't it? They've deliberately made the background blurred, and which is nice.
Yeah.
I think the background you can play with. The other thing, the thing that really that I focused on, I was looking at yesterday, was two bits. Was the mouth and the teeth, which is one of the reasons I thought, do a bit of research here, and I ended up watching Rolf Harris painting the Queen, and
Yeah.
fair play, he's a bloody good artist. You can't odds it. He was doing portraits of famous people, dignitaries, when he was 16 in Australia.
Oh, gosh.
He was an artist, an artistic prodigy. And I thought he did come out with some interesting ideas. One of which was, I'll do it quickly. I've done. Was if you got the mouth, well, you got the lips, yeah. One of the things he came up with, and I tried and it worked, was using a bit of what's that colour? Raw sienna. Yeah. So it was a dilute, just a very weak wash of. You can go in the background. Doesn't have to be strong. Okay, you think, gosh, she's got yellow teeth, but but no, it doesn't. Then what I discovered was, because inside the mouth or around the teeth, there's dark areas, there's shade, there's shadow effectively, isn't it? It's a shady bit. Well, we've always got remember this is from last week, it was blue and crimson mixed together, gives us a shadow color, and you can add a little bit of yucky grey colour to it if you like. And while that's damp, it's usually in the corner, you can drop in little bits of shadow in the background. There's some there. There might be some there. It depends on the portrait, doesn't it? On the thing that you're following, and that gives you a sort of
Depth.
The back. It's the darkness of the mouth, isn't it? In behind. So adding that onto it, I did one here, and then Carol, you'll love this. The other piece de resistance. I've got more palettes here than then the Queen's got palaces. What? Chinese white. I was using,
Oh,
yeah. And what I found, because the teeth aren't brilliant white anyway. Then I found, I've done one just here, the same thing, but I haven't put lips on it. Then you can use the Chinese white. Ugh, bit too much water on that, but you'll see what I mean. You could use any white really, titanium white. As long as it's got watercolour attached to it, you should be all right. And then you can just drop that on, and where the gap in the teeth is, it forms the shadow behind. How bloody clever is that?
Mm.
And it works really well. And to be quite frank with you, Chrissy, it'll work for you
Yeah, yeah.
because I effectively we're
mm,
we're utilising a watercolour, an oil technique for watercolour, and it works
Mm.
really well. Now um, the other big thing that I just if you've got any, the other this is the background really of what we're going to need or what I recommend was I've got it's not Alzerian crimson. It's it is a crimson sort of red, but it's more rose madder, more of a rose color. But you can see it's if
Mm.
don't know if you can see better if I
mm.
hold it. It's not as dark as Alzerian crimson, but crimson will do. It'll do the job. And what I found was either just a touch of that, you can. It works. It's the Queen's lip colour. It's her lipstick colour. So if you add it on, it works really well. And you got. I don't sure how I'm going to approach it yet. As I say, I'd, I'd rather it was, but it gives you that nice. Out of that square thing, I've got a pair of lips now and some teeth in it that we can work on. And down where it joins, oh, that's the wrong colour, isn't it? Where it joins the face, we'll add some flesh. It's just fleshy shadow. Ooh, go away. But you know what I mean. But that,
I bet she does that when she's putting her lipstick on.
yeah, look, all over me teeth.
Oh dear.
But you can see what I mean. And it may be prudent to underpaint the lips with a little bit of yellow to warm them up. May work. That was what I would normally do, and then drop in the red on top, just to give it that undercolor. A bit. I was going to say gloss, but lip gloss isn't the right term, is it? It's just to give it an extra bit of warmth. And the other, even more important, really, this color here. What I have done is flesh,
Mhm.
but I thought, well, yeah, I'm in a way. Don't know what I've done with it. Oh, so yeah, I've got this out the tube flesh color, which is fine, but not everyone's got it. So what color can we mix our own flesh up, our own flesh tint? So what I did, hopefully this is clean. If I put some water in there, again getting raw sienna. I think it's got white in it. Yeah, it has. Hang on. It's a white palette, and you can't see what the colours in it. I'm just going to do that one quickly. I've already done it once, so I've got some in there. If you put raw sienna and then add some Alzerian crimson, that might be a bit much. not too bad. You get different variations of flesh tint. So the alizarin crimson, or that crimsony red colour, if you've got rose madder, brilliant. But crimson would do it. And that's how I did it. That's how you make flesh. And you can add different strengths of colour to it. So that's gone a bit pink because that's okay. We can add more raw sienna and it'll go back to a lighter tone. And when you can get lots, you can have, Donald Trump skin tones, or if you water it down, you can gradually build it up. So how do we make? I thought that'd be quite a nice, and it fades right back as well, being watercolor. And if you add red to it, then obviously you're going to get the deeper areas, deeper red shadow areas on the face as well. The other thing that's hard is the eyes, isn't it? So I haven't really gone into much thought about it. I started doing it and I thought, I'll make it damp and just drop some blue in it, and at some stage I'll add, I think her eyes are a sort of brown colour, aren't they? Just touch in some brown on top, and then later on, as it dries off, would drop a bit of white in, or lift a little bit out when it's dry to try and give it a bit of sparkle. That's it then. Go home now.
Right, leave us to it.
No, but I mean that's my plan. I'm
It'll
sat
probably
down.
take us all week to draw her face.
It didn't take me long.
Oh yeah, but you're good at drawing.
I
Time we
don't
rub a
know.
bit out.
Well, I'm not that confident. Otherwise, I wouldn't have used the what's it?
It's good.
But I did do it a couple of days ago, and I put it up on the little board, and Mel came in. I said, "Oi, what do you want?" I said, "Who's that?" And she looked across. She went, "Oh, it's the Queen." And I thought, "Oh, I've scratched it, sorted, job done." Anyway, I think the main thing is making it damp with clean water. I used to have some clean water years ago, but I don't seem to have found any. Every time I look at it, every time I think I've got clean water, the brush is dirty, and vice versa. So she's already a pale, a muted colour anyway. Before I've even attempted, I've got a little bit of flesh over here in this palette, which is what I mixed exactly the same way from last night. So I'm not even really looking at the picture. I don't really care. Well, I think that's a bit harsh, Dave. Well, I do care, but I'm thinking at some stage, are there any no-go areas? Don't think so. Is that the right one? Watch it. I think, who is it used this? I'll tell you where this palette came from. Stephen. I used to let him use it on a Tuesday. She's got an earring, pearl earring.
She's got a pearl earring.
Yeah. So I'm just. It is a watercolor, so I'm not going to go mad. But the beauty is, we've got our flesh. Look at that. I don't want to do it anymore. I'll spoil it. Well, I've only prepared one. So we'll have to Mind you, we've got the background to sort out. No, there's a lot more to it. I think, like you say, if you get the main features in with the drawing, draw a couple of lines, then look at the picture. I'm looking at the I've only got the, hang about, Dave. I've got the one with the grid on is fade. Ah, look at this. That's a bit more like it. She's got her powder on this one. But I think what I've been on courses with watching how other artists paint watercolor portraits and that, and I didn't come away with any overwhelming methodology. I did get some interesting. I thought it interesting about the way I showed you last week of the Loomis method of defining what the face is, which effectively is well, an apple really with the sides chopped off, isn't it? So it's a circle. I found that quite fascinating. The problem we've got as watercolorists is our colours definitely fade away. But while the paper's damp, it's a good idea to drop them in. Drop in some. So really, all we're doing is using various strengths of the colour that we mixed up and dropping them in. So that's all I can suggest. And look for areas of variance in colour. Look for shapes. Remember what I'm always saying in the past, isn't it? Is I can't draw. I'm not very good at drawing. Well, that's fine because you're not really drawing anything as such. All you're doing is identifying shapes within your image and gradually building them up. And in this instance, finding various strengths of flesh tones and just popping them on. But I've got a funny feeling. Well, I've got loads of them, but that it's more a question of subtly, if you can, building up different various strengths of our skin, flesh, and possibly lifting it off as well. When you think, oh, that's a bit harsh. But looking at this, I think I need to put well, the colours changed because I'm using a different image to play with now. So I've got the original strength flesh tone here. So I'm just going to build it up a bit. But less is more, and I think, from my point of view anyway, try not to wash her lips out. Look for the this will fail. It better fade back. No, I'm pretty sure it will fade back.
What's the problem with acrylics is that you go over the lines and you've lost them. Anyway.
Yeah, it's swings and roundabouts. Some you win, some you don't.
Yeah.
I agree. What I'm trying to, but there are no. But the thing is, with the acrylic, your last. What I find is, what we've got to with the acrylic is trying to get the last color is putting your highlights on, your white, and the hard bit for me has always been getting it to be opaque enough to actually achieve what I'm trying to do, which is make it really, make it make it opaque enough so that it does what it says on the tin it's supposed to be doing. I think getting there. Well, might not. This is the alternative Rolf Harris picture. I know everyone's a bit anti Rolf, but whatever.
I
He's a
used
flipping
I used to love him. I was so disappointed when all the scandal came out.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Such a shame.
He's such a talent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Such a waste of. Well, the beauty of it is some of that. Well, I found that program. I found it online yesterday, and so that for reference material, it's there. Trying to find a little teaser here. It's a little bit of blue and purple mixed together to give me some sort of shadow to add in. Looks daft without the eyes and the teeth. Oh, George always used to do the eyes first. Because it doesn't look like the person. But it's the same with the robin, isn't it? You don't know what the robin looks like and what mood he's in until you do the eyes. I think it's a bit similar with this. But I think, well, I'm pretty sure that these sort of these sort of things are just a matter of sitting down, because invariably what you're going to do, burnt raw umber's a nice colour. If you add raw umber and then take some of the flesh colour and add it to it, you should get a nice warm colour for the eyebrows, which I haven't really got there. I think it's important to have the eyebrows are killers, aren't they? You can make her look even more angry than she is at the moment. I think with Madge, oh, come on. I was looking at some earlier today in the lounge. Mel's dad has had some. When the kids were little, James and Emily, I think. Well, yeah, it was James and Emily. Went to a Christmas fair, and there was an artist there. She was well known for doing faces, children while you wait, put little caricatures. And Grandad's obviously, I don't know, I was going to say he's not bored with them, but he just decided that he'd pass them back to us. They were over at his house. And I was looking at them today thinking, They're nice. They're watercolors as well. Very subtle. So nowhere near as much information as I'm putting under this right now. But being watercolors, we can lift out our highlights if we feel we need some. There's some on her cheek, isn't there? Over here. And you'll find that it, see, early on we're adding the picture, adding stuff, and now just lifting off. So where you see a highlight, just lift it off, tissue on your brush and lift it off. I'm using what's it, a not finished paper. I was eulogizing a bit over the last few weeks. I've been using the really smooth stuff, but I've gone off it. I'm not that vain, but the reason is what I found. The problem with it is if you do something wrong or you're not happy about stuff like I'm doing now, I'm just using clean water on my brush and I'm just lifting off bits that I'm not happy with and just moving them in my tissue so I can bring back what I don't want. She's just a bit podgy, doesn't she? Madge, why are you looking so podgy? I haven't got all the shadows in yet. What I discovered with the smooth paper is that it doesn't allow you to amend and tweak things. So if you start lifting stuff off, it won't. It just went stupid. It tears the paper and ruins the picture effectively. So yeah, but I think I don't think there's a definitive final. Oh, that's good. I'm going to walk away and leave that. Painting when you're doing portraits. I think it's more a question of you make an attempt, walk away and leave it, and then come back and start saying that's not right, that's not right. I was watching that thing with Rolf yesterday, and that's what I found with him. He was working on it, and he'd go away, and he was really getting frustrated. All the anxieties that we get as artists were coming out in his. He wouldn't go near it for about 3 weeks. I'm too busy. All the excuses were coming out. I had so much work on, the usual stuff. But what you have to do, and what I've learned over this sort of the Zoom period that we've been working with, is you can work hard and do a nice picture that you're content with for an hour or two like this, and then walk away and come back. The reason this is looking, because I've got a pencil mark in here, so we need to lift that. But the background, there's a highlight along that cheek, if you look, and that will, I think my flesh is looking a bit whatever, but I'm not gonna, because we got Chinese white, so we can go over it, and we haven't got the eyes in yet. So what would I say about the underlying colour in the behind her lips was a little bit of, in a way, this could be quite interesting, because I just had a fleeting thought went through my head then. It was like, do you know what? That could be anybody, which is good, isn't it? In my mind, it is, because it makes the Queen, well, she is just an. That's what I got when I was watching it yesterday. I was thinking, do you know what? She's just an ordinary lady. It could be my nan there, you know. She's just like me nan, and she was chatting, and you could tell, well, you think you can tell at some point. You're thinking, she's thinking, why doesn't he just get on with it and bugger off? I just got the impression, but and then she countered that quite cleverly by saying, you know, she does what a few of these sit-ins a year, and he was sort of the obvious question, isn't it? Do you get sort of, does it get on your nerve? Do you get bored? Is it annoying? And she came up with the perfect, absolute obvious answer is no. It's the one moment I get where I can sit and do absolutely nothing, not get disturbed, because the one thing that I'll send you the link. Well, you can, if I find it, if you can bear to watch Rolf and his daft questions. He's a bit childish, actually. I find him quite perplexing, I think's the word. I yeah, a grovelling little git. That's what came across at one stage. I thought, can't you just be normal? Talk to her like she's a normal human being, or something, you know. Maybe I need to watch it again, perhaps. Yeah. Only problem is, I think I'm starting to feel. I think doing these portraits of, as an artist, they're very emotion-filled things to do, because there's so much going on in your, while you're looking at, you know, there's thoughts going through your head, like, do you know what? There's no difference between a man and a woman, feature-wise. If I've I watch a TV program sometimes, or watching something, and I think, do you know what? If that model was to, you know, cut her hair, short hair, put a bloke's clothes on, he'd look like a bloke. You know, you can see, or how do you ever do it where you see a famous actress and her, she's the daughter of so and so, and you think, do you know what? If you sort of look at it in a different light, you can see that she's identical to him. So we're all, but you get that even more when you're painting. When you're doing a portrait, because you're getting right in depth with, in deep with the person, aren't you? With the subject. So anyway, I'm getting there. I've got a pencil. There's some pencil lines that are making it look harder than it actually is. There's one there, for example, and there's a highlight there that we could lift off. So the brushes that I'm using, I've got a rigger, a 1/2 inch, one of these pointy ones that, and these are all Terry Harrison ones. The rigger's a bit difficult for lifting stuff off, but the this 1/2 one it's got a little bit more stiffness in it, and it will allow it. But what I'm doing here of lifting colours off, there's no way you could do it on that Stonehenge hot press paper, which is smooth. As soon as you try it, it just it all lifts off. You get little bits of paper coming off. It looks like you've used a rubber and you haven't, which is quite nice. There you go. Well done, Madge. Well, the character comes not now, does it? It comes when you're sat down and you look at it and you think, do you know what? I wonder if I put a little wash of... I'm going to do what I said. I think the thing about the lips, they're very thin, I've noticed. I think her lips are very fine. There isn't a lot of... If you look at them, they're very fine lines. Got a little bit of that purpley, what did I say it was? Crimsony red, isn't it? Lipstick, it forever be lipstick. Madge's lipstick red. I'm not going to go too mad because I want to save this picture. I don't want to paint it more than once. I'm going to do another one, but I don't want this one to be sat on the shelf with me saying, yeah, that's rubbish. I'd rather have it so that later so I can look at it and think, oh, I'll do a bit more here. But you can see the importance of the eyes. As you put... I need a cleaner tissue. Look, see how tense I am. I'm squeezing this bit of tissue like this. It's my little comforter.
Oh dear.
I'm using it to soak up paint and one thing, and just rub my brush on. But equally, I'm going like this, thinking I'm using it as like a kid does. They have the...
You got sweaty palms.
No, I've definitely not got that.
Oh dear.
There's nothing. That reminds me of this morning. Mel met that on the bed. There were some socks, and she picked them up. So she was going to take them downstairs to the wash because she was going that way. And she looked, and I looked at her. I said, "Nah." I said, "They're all right. My feet don't smell." Anyway, she didn't pick them. She didn't pick them up and take them. She just put them straight back down. And I said, "Well, only on Tuesdays." Oh, it is Tuesday. Oh dear! She just walked off. She didn't make a comment or anything. So looks like I'm gonna have to take my own bloody socks down, isn't it? Try and paint what you see, really, isn't it? Does anyone know what colour eyes the Queen's got? Because I can't tell from this picture. So what I did yesterday, I used some of the blue and the shadow colour, blue and the crimson, perhaps a bit more blue than. But I did do something else first, or I think I'm going to do it anyway.
In the other picture, she's squinting in the sun, so you can't see her eyes. So I think that's the one to do.
Ah, Chrissy, that is so astute.
Wonder if you Google it, it'll tell you. Google it. I've got my phone.
What colour the Queen's eyes are?
I'm using my phone to watch this, so I can't do it.
Oh, hang on, I'll get mine.
Anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm just using a little bit of white to do the actual eye, because the horrendous thing, well, it's not horrendous, the interesting thing about an eye was a pencil is how flipping big they are. They're the size of a duck egg. In your head, you only see this little bit, this bit in poking out. Behind it is a bloody golf ball, or attached to it. It's huge. And when you see that, or when you read it and you do a painting or a skeleton, you suddenly think, crikey, what's going on here? People's eye. Oh, look at that. That was a bit horrible, wasn't it? I got a bit of yuck on my brush. But equally, I think if you put a little dab of white in and then pretend that she smokes and the
On my
corner,
Google, they say they're blue.
they are a blue. Yeah, but
Yeah,
I think with the light gets them, they go sort of a darky
Blue,
brainy
grey.
blue.
blue
Brainy
grey.
blue.
Yeah,
And
not bright blue.
what I've done is I've put a dollop of white on the corners and a little bit of raw sienna as well, because you always get, there's some sort of shadow in there. I mean, if you've got perfectly white eyes, it'd be awful, wouldn't it? Someone looking at you like that. Their eyes are blue, are they? Well, tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to try and move that one over because I think it's a bit close. So what I've done is I've mixed up. Maybe I did wrong there. It's always a bit like when you do the Robin, isn't it? Where you put, but then again, there's no highlights in there. And being watercolor, we're going to have to probably dab it just to lift it back and soften it down. Personally, I preferred the one I did yesterday by adding a little bit of, well, over here I've got raw sienna, raw umber, and adding that into the blue mix and dabbing just a tad of that on. But you're going to have to really focus on the picture because it's not over the whole lot, it's just on certain areas. If you look at it, it's just a bit, isn't it? But you won't get it spot on until it's dried back. And I'm quite chuffed with that. And then you put some extra highlight on, because I hate this. I hate eyes, because it doesn't matter how you do it, they're looking at you. I used to go to Southampton Library Museum at the top there. They've got the art gallery at the top, and they've got some. I don't know if I don't think they're Holbein portraits, but they are early ones. Sort of Henry VIII type stuff. And there's lady so and so and so and so in one of the corners. And do you know what? I went over and I looked at that picture and I thought, that is really nice. And forevermore, I was in there for an hour and a half, and that bloody woman was following me all the way around the house. I know. You shouldn't make light of it, really, because it's bloody horrible. Well, I didn't like it. Every time, once I got, I know I'm a bit psycho anyway, but I mean, from that moment on, I was totally, well, because I was doing my, oh, this sounds posh, my master's degree in software engineering at Southampton University.
very swanky.
So, well, it was the Southampton University, but it was based at the Southampton Institute, which became or is now part of Southampton University. So it was right in the centre of town. So during the lunch, you could walk off across the nice green and tennis courts into the museum, which was great.
I tell you a little story about when I lived in Manchester. I lived in Manchester and worked right in the city centre in the florist. And there was quite a big staff, and we used to take it in turns to go to lunch. And I always wanted to go because there was this fabulous art galleries and everything in Manchester. And I always wanted to go to these art galleries. Anyway, there was one time I really, really wanted to go, and I persuaded the girls to come with me. They didn't want to. They said, "Oh God, what do you want to go and look around art galleries for?" I said, "Just come, just this once, just humour me, and you'll like it." Anyway, 5 of us went there, and normally we always went to Littlewood's cafe. And whilst we were in the art gallery, we heard all these sirens and that going. And the IRA had planted a bomb in Littlewood's restaurant.
Oh my God.
And it had blown up.
Oh,
And I had persuaded all my friends to go to the art gallery and not to go to Littlewood.
God. That's amazing.
Yeah, afterwards they just thought, I've got fairground background. They just thought I was totally psychic. I just thought I'd share that. And you said when your lunchtimes going to the art gallery. That just reminded me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was very spooky. So
well, all I can say is, deep intake of breath, that one, isn't it?
Oh, it was totally. And the other girls that didn't go on that lunch break, I think there was about 9 of us that used to work there, and we used to go sort of half and half. And the other girls were all absolutely in tears when we got back, because they knew that we always went to Littlewood's.
Crikey.
And they thought
you were there.
That we were there.
Did anyone die then?
Yes.
Oh dear.
Yeah, quite a few.
Oh dear.
Yeah, it was horrible. That was when the IRA were
dumping it out.
Really,
Prevalent.
Way back in the 70s.
As I say, the teeth you're going to have to work on and make it. I've put a little bit of white in there, but I think what we need to do.
Dave, can we just have another look at the picture? Because to me it looks as if she's had a stroke. I'm sure she's more smiley in the picture.
Yeah, I know. I've got the yellow underneath. As I say,
now her top lip goes up more, doesn't it? On that.
Yeah, but I deliberately done it fine to start off with, because I don't want to. I can do more, but I can't do less. I can take
it away.
Yeah, if I put too much strength in.
Yeah, it's just that the corner of her mouth definitely lifts up, not down, doesn't it?
Yeah.
She looks a bit unhappy there.
But that's a learning thing, isn't it? Because it's putting paint on, and then, like I say, spending your tissue and lifting it all off again. Whether we get it right first time, I don't think I have. But I'm not afraid, because we can adjust stuff. And I think, as I say, I don't think we'll get away. I could have done it the easy way and just sort of traced it to get it really accurate, but I wanted to do it.
I'm glad you didn't, because I haven't got the facility to trace it, and I would be absolutely
No, I think doing it with the
struggling.
that's what I say. I wanted to do it with the grid because you learn so much more.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
her mouth is bloody. There's elements of it that are flipping hard
Mhm.
to get just right. You know, I'm totally aware of it. And where to put almost like where I've got the white. See, it's really difficult because her lip is really fine. I spotted it yesterday and I thought, okay, I'm going to have trouble with that.
She hasn't had any Botox.
No, that's exactly. So it doesn't matter. So I've got a funny. It's so fine. I think it's a question of lifting it off and perhaps popping it back in. Lifting it off.
Oh yeah, she's beginning to smile.
Yeah, but it's a question of, like I say, it's walk away, come back, and have another look. Otherwise, it's just becoming you're too close to it.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, it's an artist's impression, isn't it? So.
Yeah, and I haven't used white at all yet.
Yeah.
On the features, I built up a load of information.
Yeah.
But at some stage, I know what I'm like. I'll be looking at this thinking, well, oh no, what did I do there? I'll tell you what I did there. I put blue in my white. Don't want to put blue in your white, Chrissy.
No, we're very careful. I won't do that.
This isn't Omo or Daz. Doesn't make your whites go whiter, it makes your whites go blue. End of story. But yeah, so at some point it'll be a good idea using just plain white and water. I'll be able to, like there, just soften it down when it's dry. Doing it now, it's a bit hit and miss, and I'll get some of that softness back, because the white is still transparent. So what you have to do is think powder, face puff, because that's what it is. A lot of it. Reminds me of my nan. My nan used to use a powder puff a lot. And plus the fact there's a lot of stuff going on around the face as well that make the face look more warmer, colder, call it what you like. But I think for me, I think if I was to be honest, I'd say my flesh could have been more pinkier at the start, Do you see that? If you dab on the white and then just lift it off a bit, it tones it down a bit. And there's a bit. There is a highlight all along here, down this area. That I've got a pencil mark on a moment, but I can't rub that pencil mark off until it's all dried. She's just come in out from being out in the flipping stables, chasing that new corgi that she's just bought.
In her best hat.
That's right. I think that horse will go far. It will, madam. It's just over the last hill. It's just popped over the brow of that hill. I don't think we'll see it again for quite some time. Yes, well, one would, wouldn't one? And also, I notice there's a lovely patch of frizzy hair at the back as well that has got a hint of blue in it.
She's got blue rinse.
Well, I don't know. You could say it's sort of shadow, isn't it? Yeah. But I'm going for our Nan's blue rinse in there. So I'll just add a bit of. I think it's developed into my favourite thing now. Is one of them is adding a little, like I've just done there, bit of Chinese white, and then just dropping in some tony colours on top. There's a sort of a warmy, fleshy colour in there as well. So just repeat it over the other side. Bit of Chinese white, and then dip the water on the brush. Just drop in some little bits of shadow. And don't forget, if you want texture, you just use the edge of your tissue that you're cuddling in your other hand. And, the thing, I think, that's my mistake here, is that I needed a pinkier flesh colour or a lighter flesh colour, but I'm pretty confident I can mix up something with some white and let's see what happens here. Hang on, a bit more.
Yeah, she's got to get that sort of old lady.
More of a
grey colour.
More of a pinky colour. No, I don't know. Even that is too much. I think I'm going to be struggling there. This bit under her chin's gone a bit. That could do more pink in it, more flesh.
When you've done all the bright colours of her clothes,
it's going to knock it all back.
Knock right back, won't it? So,
oh yeah, I'm aware of all that.
I know. I'm just.
No, I'm just saying. I'm agreeing with you, Chrissy. I'm not criticising.
Yeah.
Sorry. And yeah, I'm quite pleased with this.
Yeah,
it's gone better than it's gone better than I thought. And she always wears pearls. I think. Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, she's an old lady, so you can't.
Yeah.
I'm not painting Princess Di here, It's.
But like you said before, you could just put a different hat on her, and she could be a man. She could be. You could put a turban on her. You could put anything. It's just a nice face.
I think the pearls. I'll take a leaf off of Rolf's book, out of his book. Sounds precarious, but if you paint them with drop in a dollop of raw sienna, let it dry, and then a blob of white on the top. They'll sort of turn up. It just gives them, because they're not white, they're more of a, they have a background. They're an off-white colour, and he did it that way, and I thought, do you know what, he's got that right. But I've just put a bit on her. I put a piece on her ear, a little bit of, and that where I'm sitting, that's definitely added a different dimension. Just a blob of white. Well done, Dave. Yeah, thank you. I'm very troubled. I don't know. There we go. The flowers. I think it's the same. It seems to be a theme on this picture. Is put a blob of white on it, Chinese white, and then while it's damp, drop a little bit of raw sienna in and walk away and go to the next bit, and if to the next flower. And if you want to add a little bit of extra detail in the centre, just a bit of blue or a bit of your shadow that we've got in our palette over here. No, she nearly had it in her eye then. Crikey. I think the theme that I'm using is the blue with the Alzerian crimsons. Gives me that nice colour, nice sort of dark, shadowy colour that I can utilise throughout the picture. And it's a theme, isn't it? Can do it the other way around, but I think that's my preference, is that. And plus the fact, if you're canny, you can, which I am, you can pick out more than one flower. So you can sort of put a blob of white there. There's a couple of petals there, so we'll put those on. Clean our brush off. Got a bit of pink in it somewhere. Bit of the raw sienna. There's a blob of it. Just let the water do some of the work for a change. You've done your bit. Drawing it, sketching it. Heartache, thinking about it. But, you know, like Chrissy says, once we get the hat and the background, but I thought I'd concentrate on the flowers because I'm conscious that they're an important aspect. So, and the beauty of putting the white on, it acts as it will act when it's dry. It will act as sort of a barrier when I decide to put a nice filling on the hat, and it will stop it from seeping all into the flowers. Some are white and some aren't they? So, but I'm just going to put a few drops in. If you put, at least it gives it some texture, and where they meet the hat, they're going to have some of that dark purpley and some brown. So it's whatever brown you've got. Raw umber is a nice brown. Dollop of that with some of that purple on your brush, and just dollop it. Just drop it in where it's damp. If you can get enough on your brush, that is, and that'll give you those lovely dark shadowy bits with a hint of warmth because of the purple. Yeah, I quite like that. You're not supposed to like your own stuff, though. Yeah, I know, but it's all right. There's you can always tell when they're concentrating because it goes quiet. but I am quite pleased with this. Yeah, I think.
Yeah, definitely coming to life now.
Do you see? What do you think of that? My idea. I was talking to Terry about it. About yeah, there you go. As soon as you put the hat on, away we go. We got the same thing. I actually thinking about it. I haven't actually drawn her badge, so it's just a white. It's exactly the same almost. Chrissy, you got better white than I will. Mine's gone a bit off white now, but I don't mind. I just want to make, but it's a different yellow, isn't it? It's a bright yellow that she's got. Just trickle it in. Quite clever, really, because it matches the flowers on her hat. Wish I had ladies like that. But that won't stand out until we put a bit round there, and then that will act as a shadow area for the badge to make it stand out. Great stuff. Well, my apprehension was well founded, but quite frankly, I'm quite enjoying this now. But the pearls, where I put the daub of raw sienna, put a blob of white on them, and it does give them a sort of a, makes them stand out a bit of a background to them. So that was a good tip that I think is worth bearing in mind. Let's have a bit of bigger brush and just put in a damp, watch her hair, a row of damp water. Can you imagine doing this on the pier?
Not today.
You know, no, for holiday makers, sit there and I'll do you a quick sketch of how long have you got? Yeah, we were tempted to go to the beach at some point today. Well, I've got some. Well, I'd have to have a Polaroid camera, take a print, and then do it that way. I think if we can get her, I'm not sure where that goes. I just want to put the rug on, but it will make it stand out, and it will soften her coat down. I think if we add a bit of blue to it as well, while it's damp, soak in a bit of blue without totally destroying the red colour. Notice my paper has been all the way through this has been totally flat. I haven't normally I put it at an angle. One thing about doing this bit, I'm going to soften that down because there's going to be a background going into that at some point. Some blue, isn't there? Probably. Oh wow! How's about that?
Wow.
And our normal shadow colour is blue and a brown. I've got raw umber in there at the moment, but it'd be burnt umber, raw umber, just a brown. And while it's damp, you can tease in where you think you've got some dark bits. There's a dark bit just where it hints there, isn't it? Just swish it down, and it gets really dark down here. Just let the water do the work. Yeah. In your case, Chris, with acrylics, just blow it. See what happens. Huff on it. Just try and find a few of them. There are while it's like this at this stage, they're markers. They're markers for later, when it's dried off, then you can get your smaller brush and the same color, but add a few extra strokes because there's always some harder lines. I got white on all these brushes. Bloody nightmare. Yeah, so I've got a little bit of this colour left, so I won't bother making it wet this time because there's so much water on this brush anyway. I think, oh, my phone's going off in the background. Time ago, now you're knocking on my door. I hear you knocking, but you can't come in. Hey, not every art Zoom lesson demo meeting has its own little singing artist. Anybody want to know? Anybody curious to know who was on the phone? My phone was ringing.
Terry.
Oh, top of the class. Top of the bloody class. Well done, that girl. Oh, spot on. I'm impressed.
Well, I was going to say Her Majesty, saying you missed a bit, Dave.
He's persistent. He's trying to get. I can't stop. I won't stop. Not
is he trying to get in on the Zoom? Or?
He would have rang before now, wouldn't he?
Right, I was going to say.
He's a bit late if he is.
Late, yeah.
I think the word tough and something else comes to mind at the moment. Well, I'm concentrating, so.
You are. I am very impressed how you're able to talk and concentrate and paint at the same time.
I can feel myself tense just watching you.
Oh,
look,
God.
in future, could we all have a tissue and roll it up and put it in our hand?
Yeah.
I can see this lot going horribly wrong.
I think personally, I think you should be
worried.
Not afraid. I don't think you should be afraid. I think you should be
We go for it.
well, in a way,
he who dares.
it's what I keep saying, you know, we have no fear. We're gonna go for it.
Yeah.
I think it could do with a lift off there. Just put a little bit of highlight on that. I'm conscious that I can always if I lift a bit of, because it's a bit lighter over on that top bit, if I lift it off, I can always add a little bit of colour back on later, but it's difficult to do it the other way around. Well, you can, but you won't get that same smoothness of stroke. I'm still doing that white. That's Terry.
Like he's making me jump on that guy.
No, that was my phone. That was my phone.
He's probably ringing you up now.
We haven't got my number.
Dave won't speak to me.
Oh, God.
Poor lad. He rang me the other day. He won't mind me saying this. He rang me the other day saying that he's been to, he's given up Tesco's, so he's gone back to 3 for his mobile phone. Sorry, I'm talking in riddles there. Yeah, he's gone back to 3. But he rang me up using that phone. He said, I'm going to ring you up. I'm going to put the phone down, then ring you back. Can you tell me what my number is?
Oh, God.
So he's just come out of the free phone shop with a new phone, new contract or whatever, but they
Yeah.
didn't tell him what his bloody phone number was.
Oh.
Normally, you'd think they'd write it down on a piece of paper, wouldn't you? I thought that tickled my fancy. That did. I've done it the same. Ooh, I'm doing this to that. She's got some sort of dress underneath, a skirt, whatever. And now I'm just using blobs of white for the pattern. I think they look like stars, don't they? The theme is all the same. The flowers, her skirt thing, dress, whatever. I'm not very
It
good
wouldn't
with
be a skirt up under her chin. That
Yeah.
is one thing I do know. It
Look,
could be a blouse, or it could be a dress.
yeah. So anyway, but the same theme. I've just been adding a blob of white, put in some, what's that colour? Raw sienna in the middle of it, same as I did with the flowers.
Mhm.
And then now, while it's still damp, I'm just using, actually, it's more or less my favourite colour, ultramarine, and just dabbing some ultramarine in. You've got to be careful, Mike, because everything's so damp around there. And I must admit, it's actually coming off looking quite nice, giving it a bit of depth. And over on the other side of my palette, I've still got the burnt umber. So while try and find some edges, shadows to drop them at him. Almost. But as I say, when it's dry, we can add a few more of these shadowy bits in. Well, I'm blowed. Okay, for a first attempt,
That's very good.
Very good.
I'm bloody chuffed with that.
Yeah.
You should be. It's lovely.
Well, there's a lot more work to do on it, but I think the key is the using that grid.
Agreed. Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't paint draw the lines in too hard, because at some point you're gonna have to get them off. And then just take a bit of time and look at the grid and say, I deliberately looking at it, I stapled all my bits of paper together. Look. But what I've done, if you notice, I've deliberately made that line of the grid go down her cheek and almost to her chin. I tried to pick out a couple of, that seemed to me an important point.
Right.
And you can see I've done it. There's pencil mark there going down. That's marking the center of that grid, because I noticed that her eye and her nose sort of went. It gives you, if you've got a center mark going down the grid, it gives you a target point. You see her nose, the tip of her nose is almost just below the center of that grid. So that was good. And I think the important things, going back to what I've done wrong or what I think I could have done better, is getting her eyes just right. I think the curve of this top here is curve, and that curve there. If you get that right, she'll look warmer and friendlier than she does if you have them poking out a bit. But that's a light image, so it's difficult to tell on that. But as I say, at some point, I'll try and put a bit more information on her teeth and stop her try and prevent her looking so goofy.
Well, when you look at it on the phone, you can zoom right in, which is a help.
I think the important thing is to look at it and think, who's that? And if it looks like the Queen, you know you're not far off, are you?
That's it.
To me, I can see the Queen in there.
Yeah, definitely.
Like Chrissy says, it's not you're looking at a photo, trying to reproduce a photo when you think, hang on, I'm not a photographer, I'm an artist. So, but there are some pieces that I can lift off later, and this paper, being, which I will do, that needs lifting off a bit there, being a bit more robust. The two rivers meet. Stuff from Jackson's art. I mean, for beginners and professionals or anybody, it's probably as good a paper around as there is. It's very hard. It'll take a lot of punishment on the surface. You can scratch out, and like I've been doing, I can really scrub hard and lift colour out that I wasn't too pleased about. And it's double-sided. So you can use both sides. There aren't many papers out there that are that. Just as a quick, I won't fill it all in, but I'm just going to put a wash just to see what it will do. And across there, more colour, just to see if it brings her out even more. I think it does. I think you'll find it'll tease a bit more out. If you wanted to go all impressionistic, now's your chance. I think I'm not sure quite what's going on over here. I don't think I need to, no, there is no hat. There are those lovely plumes. Are they called plumes?
Yeah, like feathery.
Yeah, feathery plumes, which I've tantalisingly kept because I want to put some really nice. I'm aware that they're a good spot to put some shadow on. I'll show you what I mean by that. The plumes, le flume, we can. They'll be it's the same theme throughout. It'll be a coat of white. Just flick it with the brush, and then while it's damp, add a little bit of the shadow colour. By shadow, it's a bit of the browny, purple, bluey mix. And I'm pretty confident if I put however, I could do it better with a thinner brush, but if you flick it, it'll give you the opportunity at some point of putting a really dark line of blue and burnt umber, or even a really dark blue along it, and what it's capable of doing is leading the eye away from the obvious. So it'll focus, it'll balance it up and take some pressure off of the face, which is looking a bit stark at the moment, but we'll lighten that up at some point. Maybe not. Maybe I'm just going to look at it and think, shan't I?
It's definitely one of those that you're going to do a bit, walk away.
Yeah.
And look at it the next day, and then it'll probably jump out. You'll think, oh, that could be better, or that was good.
How long have we got for this one?
I think I'll better start now.
Yes. I think I should have started yesterday.
Yeah.
I think I've done it the way I've done it, I think is about right. Concentrate on the face, get that bit sorted, and then it'll take a lot of pressure off you. You can sort of breathe a bit then.
What colour are you going to do the background? How are you going to do that?
Don't know.
That next week's challenge.
No, I think it's a question of
I don't
just
think I'd do a background.
I was going
No,
to
I
say,
was thinking
yeah,
I'd
Well,
I
I'll-
just
I'll-
left it
what I'll-
leave it.
what I'll
Just leave-
do is my instant reaction to the or answer to the question is what I'm going to do is probably
Buckingham Palace in the background.
be careful, be cautious of what I've done, and I
Oh,
might
excuse
put
me.
a bit of masking fluid around the outside of the building of Old Madge, just to preserve the edges, and then make the whole of the rest of it wet, and then whatever's in this palette will act as I'll clean the palette out using what's left in there as dark blurry washes. Yeah, they'll just be that. There's a jacket there, somebody's jacket. There's a girl's hair there, and their jacket's there. So they're blurred people, outlines of people, which I think is quite good. That one there, in actual fact, there's a woman's hair and there's her shoulder, or something like that. And there's shoulders there and there, and there's people's faces there. So we've got those, all the colour that's left. I'll use that as a thing on the rest of it. But I haven't really stood back and looked at it. I moved the I had an art desk from downstairs. I think once I sort her mouth out, her teeth, she'll look a lot warmer.
Before we go,
We're going.
sorry, you did start to say about what you'd said in the email about the Saturdays and Tuesdays and
Oh, blimey, it looks really nice on screen. Just need to sort her teeth out. It should be fine.
it does.
Oh, very, very.
You
Yeah.
started talking
What I
about
was
it
saying was that doing it on a Saturday, I haven't spoke to the church yet, but I really think it's a good opportunity to expand it into, like I say, I could open the church, because they're always saying they want it as a cafe and all the rest of it. So I was thinking, I think I was talking to Joyce about it, and it sort of sparked a few things, and Terry, and I was saying, do you know what? There's no reason why I couldn't put a bloody banner outside saying art gallery open,
Yeah.
and people can come in, and all these bits of work that we've created, there's no reason why we couldn't have a couple of tables with all those on them to show that we're actually doing something. Otherwise there's no point. It's great doing work and becoming confident in stuff, but there's nothing better than getting independent feedback from people that you don't know.
Yeah, I quite agree.
And I wouldn't say it or suggest it if I wasn't confident, 99.9% confident, no, probably more, 105% confident that no one will come in and look at any one of the pictures that we've done over the last year and a half or whatever, nearly 2 years by then, and say they're rubbish. They won't.
No.
Because I can see them on the gallery, and I can cut mounts as well. And once they're mounted, put in a mount, they're just.
Is your project. Thank you very much.
I think it'll be. I thought it's all right for me to say, well, if I was you, I'd do this and I'd do that. But when someone else looks at it, knows nothing about art, they don't have to say things that hit the spot. Kids are terrible.
Yeah.
Kids see things totally lateral thinking. So you think you've drawn an apple, and they say, do you know what? I can see a banana in there. And then you think, how do they do that? Yeah, that's
So is the Saturday, is that the only sort of day they're gonna have free, do you think?
Yeah, I think it's looking that way, yeah.
No, you obviously didn't.
Because it's quite, especially post the lockdown business. It's so busy. People are out there gasping for community spaces to stop. But like I say, I think it. Okay, you can say, well, I can't. I'm going to keep the Zoom going because I think it's a good thing, and the Saturdays could double up. So, as a drop-in coffee doodah, don't cost anything then, does it? Just put a donation. I thought I could have a pot on the table for donations to the church and things like that. So rather than the tea or coffee, they can, anybody walking past, we can encourage them to, I don't know, do something for the community instead of our, you know. I even said to Mel, I said, do you know what, Mel? You can come too. We'll make a bloody day of it. Like, you know, early afternoon or whatever, and see how it goes.
I mean, I'm sure I'm not the only one. We definitely won't be able to do every Saturday.
No, I don't think it's necessary.
No, but if we're doing our Zoom still and still doing our painting here, you know, at home, and that would just be more of a coffee morning.
Yeah, I think.
Sorry, I missed that. I had to go and see to the carer. So what was that? That Saturday? Yeah,
we're just saying that that my thoughts are is to open it up.
Yeah.
Say, we can come or we can't come, but equally I can use it to. I've got bloody great banners and put out our exhibition today. I've done it before for my own work, and we can have a couple of tables there, and people can come in and. I mean, it's doomed to.
Take that panic look off your face, Carol.
It's doomed to success.
So what time are you going to have it on a Saturday? Same time?
Ooh, I don't know. Yeah, well,
I'll come down.
We'll open at 10 and keep going, shall us?
Yeah. And what would we actually do something?
Yeah.
There? Still do painting.
It'd still be the art group as such. So,
but we'd be in the front of the church, presumably.
Well, that's my plan. Yeah. That's the
I
plan.
might find it a bit awkward, but I'll see. I'll see what happens.
Well, like I said, it's
an extra.
It's an open. Yeah, I think it could work.
Even if you just pop in or something.
Yeah.
That was my thing. Like Terry was. Terry, he's up for it as it happens. But I was thinking, and Steve, and I was thinking, well, there's some days where Terry says, "Oh, I can't come to this week, Dave. I've got too much on," or whatever. Well, a lot of it is 9 times out of 10. It's because he's Margaret's saying you've got to go and do this shopping. You've got to do this shopping. Come on, we got to go out. Well, what's stopping him from saving money going in posh coffee shop? He can pop in there and meet friends, have a chat and a cup of coffee, and pay £2 into the church on the way back to the doodah. To me, I reckon that's a brilliant idea.
I think also the people that haven't been able to come onto the Zoom meetings, it would be nice for them, you know, like Terry, John, Stephen. Philip,
absolutely. Yes, it's double-edged. I think it's a win-win for everybody, and plus the fact I said to Joyce the other day that the parking thing, it ruined the whole day.
Yeah, it was a nightmare. I
had to be there at 7:30 and put cones up all over the place just to ensure that 5 people could get a parking space, and anyone else. Then it was more that, and then people are coming, whether it's Christine, Joyce, or Carol when she used to drive in. How can you sit down and relax and do some work? You've just had 20 minutes of hassle fighting with nursery mums.
Well,
Will they be renting out that other room on a Saturday? Will there be other people parking there, do you think?
No,
No.
no one uses it on a Saturday.
All right, okay.
Well, they will now, because that's what happens. That's what's happened on the
Yeah.
Tuesday. There was no one there when I started. Nothing going on.
mm,
They made it a success, and all of a sudden word gets out and something's going on, and they all turn up. So that'll happen on a Saturday. You bet your bottom dollar on that.
Mm.
Oh, it's working.
Yeah.
Oh,
But you'll
it's open
carry
on
on
Saturdays.
till dinner time, will you? Because if I've got to get Peter up first, I might not be able to get down there till about 11.
On a Saturday is even better.
Yeah.
Because, because I'm just saying that if I open the church up for anyone passing by to come in and have a browse, a cup of coffee, or if we have some artwork there to display and they can watch us working or whatever, and there's no threat in that. So yeah, I was going to open it up, and
I just wondered what time you were going to do it on till dinner time again.
there's no pressure on a Tuesday. There's always pressure to get out.
Yeah.
On a Saturday, there won't be. Well, fair enough. I was thinking perhaps get Gordon to come in with the boys, do a gig.
Oh yeah, that'd be good. We'd enjoy that.
You must bear in mind that most Saturdays Gordon will be away in the caravan.
Well, to be quite honest, it doesn't matter anyway, because it's that time of year where they're away
anyway. Yeah.
So
yeah,
but they can. But we got them with the Zoom now, because the internet's all over the country. There's no reason why they're only traveling today. That's why they're not here.
Yeah.
But when they're static, they can.
Do it anywhere.
You can be at. You can be at Corfmullen in a field, mate. You can still get your internet on your phone.
Not necessarily.
No excuses.
There's a lot of places you can't get it. But anyway,
at the moment, but you wait. There 5G's coming out now. They're putting masts everywhere.
Right.
Yeah, you'll be getting headaches and irradiated wherever you live now.
I know when we go down to Kingston Ward for that 2 or 3 weeks when we steward that big meet, you just can't pick a signal up. It's sort of, it is really, really difficult, because they were talking about the caravan and camping club were saying that now, because of COVID, all bookings have got to be done online and everything. But that's rubbish for us down there, because we've got no internet signal.
That's all going to change.
We won't be here. Well, it's not going to change between now and September, believe me.
Oh no. No, but it is going to change going forwards.
Yeah, well, that would be good if it does.
Because they're planning on expanding and developing the rural. Can't even say that word. Rural, whatever. You know what I mean? That element of it.
Well, I can't say it now. Rural.
Yeah, that's it. Rural. Oh, countryside.
Yeah.
We know
Out with sticks.
Yeah, they're going to blast them.
My lunch is calling me.
Are we off for time? Oh, we've done well. I worked hard today.
It's nearly 12:30.
I've earned me bloody
Are we
penny.
still working on this next week, or have we got to finish it?
There it goes, I guess.
How you feel? See how you go.
Right.
Dave, will you let us know when we got to pay again? Because
You already just did.
I did mine this morning for you.
Christine Besson, have you set up a standing order or something?
oh, did I? Oh, that's all right then. That's good.
Yeah,
I wasn't
because
sure.
there was something went through May the 4th.
May the 4th be with you.
Yeah. Well,
I did mine this morning, so just check it has.
Oh, I minted. Oh, I've got that party in the night.
I don't remember whether I did standing order or what I did.
Oh, I could have
It said Christine Besson, £20. No, was it £200 FPI?
Thank you.
FPI, whatever FPI means. Does that mean something? Must mean something. It didn't say standing order, but
okay.
must be something payment. I don't know. Anyway,
Yeah.
it's gone. Something's gone through. So I thought, oh,
Yeah, well, let me know if it hasn't.
yeah, it has. Oh,
Yeah,
right.
that's all right. Okay, then. Well, I'm going to say tatty bye.
Yeah.
And thank you very much.
I'm gonna have some
Yeah.
lunch.
Yeah.
See you
Phone
all
Terry
next
back
week.
at some time.
Yeah. Okay then. Take care.
I'll
Yeah,
whack
all
over
right.
I'll
Bye,
whack the video.
everybody.
Joyce is all
Bye.
quiet today.
Yeah.
Joyce.
I'll see you soon.
Yeah, bye.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Bye.
Bye
Bye,
then.
everybody.
Bye, Dave. Thanks very much.
Yeah.
Take care.
Thank you. Yeah. Take care. Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Oh.